Open your banking app right now. Look at your last paycheck. It landed, it looked huge for a second, and then it was gone. Rent, car payment, credit card, groceries. The number hit your account and vanished before it ever became yours. You've probably blamed the amount. A bigger number, you think, would fix it. But the real reason is far stranger. It has nothing to do with how much you earn. It has everything to do with where that money goes the moment it arrives. Think about the highest earner you know personally. A doctor, maybe. A lawyer. Someone with a title that makes people nod with respect. Now ask yourself something uncomfortable. Do they actually feel rich? Or do they feel like they're one bad month away from trouble, just with a nicer car in the driveway? This isn't a coincidence. It's a pattern. Robert Kiyosaki, in his book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, grew up watching two father figures handle money in opposite ways. One had a PhD and a government paycheck. The other never finished high school and built a business empire. On paper, the educated man should have won. He didn't. And the reason he didn't has a name most people have never learned, even though it decides almost everything about their financial life. Here's the idea. An asset puts money into your pocket. A liability takes money out. That's it. That's the entire test. Not what your accountant calls it. Not what it's worth if you sold it. Just this. Does it feed you money or does it eat your money? Most people never run this test on their own lives, so they end up buying liabilities and calling them assets. A bigger house, a newer car, a boat that sits in the driveway, more than the water. Each one feels like proof that they've made it. Each one is quietly pulling money out of their pocket every single month. Now here's where it gets stranger, and this is the part your salary can't protect you from. Researchers at the National Bureau of Economic Research studied hundreds of NFL players who retired between the years 2000 and 2013. These weren't struggling earners. Some had banked millions during careers most people can only imagine. The study found that roughly 1 in 6 of these players filed for bankruptcy within 12 years of leaving the league. And here's the detail that should stop you cold. It didn't matter how long they played. It didn't matter how much they earned. A longer, more successful, better paid career gave almost no protection at all. Why would that be true? Because a bigger paycheck doesn't automatically build wealth. It just raises the size of the liabilities you can afford to buy. A rookie contract buys a nicer car. A veteran contract buys a mansion, a fleet of cars, a circle of people who all expect to be taken care of. The income goes up. The pattern underneath it never changes. Money comes in, and money flows straight back out, just through more expensive pipes. Kiyosaki calls this the rat race. You get a raise, so you upgrade your lifestyle to match it. The upgrade creates new bills. The new bills demand the next raise just to stay even. You're not standing still. You're sprinting and somehow staying in exactly the same place. What actually breaks the pattern isn't a bigger number on a paycheck. It's a different question asked before every purchase. Not, can I afford this? Almost anyone with a decent income can afford almost anything for a little while on credit. The real question is this: will this thing put money into my pocket, or will it take money out? A rental property that generates monthly income after expenses. That's an asset. A stock that pays you a dividend. An asset. A skill you can license. A small business that runs without you standing behind the counter every hour. Assets. The house you live in, the car in your driveway, the subscription you forgot you're paying for. All liabilities, no matter how good they look from the outside. The poor and the middle class, Kiyosaki observed, tend to follow the same order every time. Income arrives, and it flows into liabilities and expenses. The wealthy flip the sequence. Income arrives, and it flows into assets first. Only afterward does it fund the lifestyle. Same paycheck. Completely different destination. Years later, one person owns things that pay them, and the other person just owns things. So here's your action for today, and it takes less than 10 minutes. Open a blank note on your phone. Make 2 columns. Label 1 puts money in. Label the other takes money out. Now go through everything you currently own and everything you're currently paying for, and place each one honestly into a column. Not where you wish it belonged, where it actually belongs based on what it does to your bank account every month. You will probably find that most of what you own sits in the wrong column. That's not a failure. That's just the starting point every single wealthy person once stood at too. before they understood the difference. The NFL players in that study didn't lack income. They lacked this exact exercise. So did the professionals you know who look successful and feel broke. A high salary was never the goal. It was only ever the fuel. What matters is which column it gets poured into. Open your banking app again. Look at that same number that just landed. It hasn't changed, but maybe, for the first time, you're finally asking the right question about where it's about to go. If this video showed you a blind spot, share it with one person who's still counting on their salary. New Money Goggles videos every week.